pay attention to it.
Right. Or it's like that fact is like they're not quite in a state of like health and fitness like level where it's like they can even notice it.
Yep.
Like I take that to like the alcohol reference is like
Yeah.
if you drink all the time, you never know what it actually is to feel good.
Yep.
And when you stop drinking, boom.
You figure it out.
That's what it was. I just remembered it, Todd. So this is a great gateway to things. So Nicholas and I's conversation, what it was I can't remember the novel, but I've heard this anecdote. I've heard the story before, and I know you have too. But it was the idea that this couple ate fruit for 7 days, like nothing but fruit.
All right.
For like 7 days straight, and then on that 8th day or 7th day, whatever it is, they went back to eating whatever, and then like they like had this whole documentation, like their experience, and talked about the fact that like you don't realize it, but on that 8th day when we went back to eat what we did, how much like crap you feel because of that.
Right.
And then so basically they just lay out this experience of like how like right now, you know, people are used to eating packaged food, fast food, whatever it is. And so to them, it doesn't really make them feel bad because they don't realize it because they're so that's their norm.
Yeah.
And then so Nicholas tried this. He actually told me, he's like, I tried it. I was like, whatever. I like fruit. I'll give it a shot. And so he ate fruit for like that 6-7 day span. And then he like tried to go back, and he's like, dude,
can't do it.
He's like, you don't realize. He's like, it's awful. And I was like, yeah. It's like, he's like, it messed my stomach. He's like, I couldn't eat the normal. I was like, yeah. You don't realize like some of that stuff you're eating, you're so used to it now, but when you introduce it back after you've like cleansed or however you want to phrase it, it's like you realize how detrimental it is to like your sleep, your bodily functions, whatever. So
yeah, you take and take that for on the alcohol side. I mean, that's relatable for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't used to drink all the time.
Yeah.
And then slowly start cutting back, and then now I don't drink anymore. But the last time I did, it was 2 or 3 beers, and it's like you wake up and it's like, God, wow, now I remember why I don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just, whether it's food, whether it's alcohol, processed food, or whatever you eliminate or replace with something better, you get throw it back in. You feel horrible. Like,
yeah.
How did I make it through the first? I call it 49 years of my life, 50 years of my life, but when it started drinking until I was 18, 16,
Mm-hmm.
so for 30 some years, feel like shit and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Where's that go? But anyway.
Well, I think that like honestly loops us in perfectly to kind of like what we're gonna be talking about, and it is like your journey, your experience, and the getting started at CFA and just kind of all the things that changed. Because what I love about talking with you, Todd, is because what's cool is like I'm like realizing these things and sharing experiences like that you're having.
Yep.
And it's just at different age sequences.
Right.
Right?
I say 30 years apart.
Right. A little bit of an age sequence difference, but what I like about it, though, what's fun is when we can have those conversations, we can share in those experiences, because like I very rarely drink. Like I think I went 7 months, 0 drinks, nothing.
Nice.
And then I drank maybe a couple drinks, and that was it. And then I think last 2 weeks, couple not parties, but wedding events, whatever, had a couple of drinks, but that was it. And then now I'm back to like, nope, I don't want to drink anymore. Yeah. Like I celebrated my moments. That's it.
You did it with intention,
yeah,
which is fine. Which someday I'll do that too,
right?
But it's going to be because it's on my terms now.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to phrase it, because that's after going that 7 months. Like now it's like I'm drinking because I want to, or I'm doing this because I'm celebrating my friend, or I'm doing this because I'm celebrating whatever. But it's not me just like, hey, I'm gonna here party, get drunk, whatever, socialize. Like it's like my terms, and I think that's a really good way to phrase it. But like I have that experience. I've also lost a lot of weight. You've gone through that as well, and we're both kind of freakishly into nutrition. I like bouncing ideas or like kind of sharing my experience with you, and you kind of have those moments, and you're definitely the nutrition guy himself. So. It's cool to have this conversation, the conversation that we have. There's sometimes where I wish we were always mic'd up just so people can hear.
I hear you.
Although sometimes they get kind of crazy, but so I guess let's start just kind of from the beginning, like where things started off for you, like before we got to CrossFit Angola, kind of some of the things you were doing. We can talk about how much you weighed, mindset, whatever you're going to go with, but kind of give the lay of the land at the beginning of your journey.
Yep, I got. Oh man, how far back do you want to go? I mean, I started 2010. My dad passed away.
Okay.
It's really where I took a wrong turn. So I'd always drank. I always ate like crap, drank beer, did all the bad stuff before then. But when Dad died, it went significantly more downhill.
For sure.
For about a year, and like in 2011, somewhere at end of 2010, 2011. I remember sitting on the couch one night. I'm like, this isn't working anymore. Going out in the back room, which you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Go in the back room, have a bunch of beers, do whatever. I was sitting on the couch one night, and I texted my buddy that was working out at any time, and I'm like, hey, he gotten a free pass. And he offered it to my wife. And she was like, nope, I work at night, or she comes home from school and does her thing. And I'm like, hey, I need that pass. He's like, okay, whatever, man. So he gives me the free pass. I go to Anytime Fitness, and it was like a 2-week pass. And he didn't expect me to make it past 2 weeks. And, here as 13 years later, whatever, still going, taking care of myself. But I think when I first started there, I was, 200 pounds.
Okay.
30% body fat-ish, somewhere in there. Probably north of there, because the first time I really checked my body fat was in 2016. So 2011 started working out. 2016 actually checked the body fat with a bod pod or in-body. And
I know this guy
likes my nose.
There he goes.
Yeah, it worked out at any time from 2016 or 2011 to when I started here in 2019. And that happened by accident.
Yeah. So explain how you kind of started here.
So 2019, I was going through.
All right, that's it. We're going to kill.
Fly's going to kill me.
Get him. Done.
Got him.
Done. All right.
No,
he didn't. Mother.
I didn't. I was getting nutrition coaching through Eat to Perform was a company. They were a macro-based, heavy carbs. I would look back at one of them. I was eating 400 grams of carbs.
Good. Yes, gracious.
Shit. Yep. I found that when I was looking through some other stuff last night.
Yeah, wow.
So 400 grams of carbs. But it was all going kind of like what I do now. It was all going through an app. I had a personal coach. Her name was Natalie. Okay. She happened to be a CrossFit coach at Nick Uranker's gym over in South Bend. If you know where Nick is.
Yeah.
And this place, CrossFit Angle, opened up, and I happened to be talking to her, chatting with her through the text. She's like, Todd, go check it out. I'm like, nah, that's not my thing. And Kent Oberlin saw me at a job site. He went to Anytime for a little bit, and then he disappeared. I didn't know where he went. Yeah. And I happened to catch him on a job site one day, and he was like, hey, come to check out CrossFit. I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. So, but hang on. All within the same week, Kent Oberlin says something, and Natalie Johnson says something to me. I'm like, all right, man, I'll go check it out. I remember walking in the door to meet Seth the first time, talked to him a little bit, got me signed up. I went through the what's it called, the onboarding or whatever.
Yeah.
Anytime Fitness, I was used to just work out for a little bit, work out for a little bit, talk. I don't remember what it was like burpees, sit-ups, and something like bike or something. I'm like, after the first round, I'm like, you guys got to try to kill me.
It's like, whoa, this is not a couple sets of curls.
Talk for a while. But I remember like for the first 2 or 3 months, I would come here and then I'd leave and go there. And finally I washed out of there, and it wasn't what I was after anymore. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest, and maybe I'll save this for a little bit later. Yeah, I'll say it now. Okay. One of the things I came here was to get in better health, better fitness, but that's not what I got out of it. I'd say a whole body transformation and mental transformation is what I've gotten out of it. It wasn't just I came here for fitness. That's what everybody comes here for. But I'm a whole different person today than I was in 2019. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that's what's super cool about your story. And there's others. I'm one of those too. Yeah, like I came in here like 2:30, and I was drinking. I was in college, so I come in here hungover, just kind of sweat, move, whatever. But like I am drastically different than that person was.
For sure.
And that's what's cool about your story is. Everyone always kind of says you get get the itch, and then you kind of fall, and it's not just not the fitness results, like, oh, I look good or I feel good. It's so much more. It's like a total lifestyle change, and just like there's so many different elements that have gone into it, and that you've experienced. I mean, you've gone through the resilience workshop, which that was a lot of fun, but that was one of those things where it was uncomfortable. It was kind of weird, and we didn't even know what it was. Yep. Now that the coaches and Cody just kind of dragged us in, and we were like,
all right, here we go.
Yeah, and so it was like, we experienced that, and it was just one of those things where it was like, whoa, it was like, and you started gaining some of those, gaining trend on some of those things where it was like, There's so much more to it than just working out. And I think that's what's super cool about your journey is like you've had that realization there, the nutrition, but there's also the mindset, and there's this, and there's so much more to the puzzle. And that's hard for a lot of people, I think, to normally grasp. And I think that's what's cool about you is when I like talk to you, you have those elements. You're like, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, you're right. That's like, you know, and it's cool to see those lights flicker on because it's just like, you're starting to see it. You're like, yeah, it's like crazy, isn't it?
And it's fun to see it in ourselves. I'm starting to find it more fun to watch it in other people now. Whether it's somebody new coming into the gym or somebody that's been here for a while, that I say something or you say something or something, like you see a light bulb moment in your head going, huh, shit, all right, that makes sense. Or whether it's nutrition, whether it's a clean and jerk, or whether it's a snatch or a jump rope, or you were doing rope climbs the other day, like, all right, something just clicked. That's cool to see now.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You're at that point where it's like you went from that Padawan or protege to like now kind of like a mentor almost. You're like you have now that like third world view where you can see everything because like now you can kind of watch it and you just see, and it is a cool process to watch.
For sure.
And I think that's what's cool about your journey too, is it's taking you to a point where now you are in more of that mentorship role, right? You're diving into that idea of like nutrition and all those things, and helping others kind of explore those avenues, and which is super cool. So we're going to kill this fly. We're going to take 30 seconds and get him.
He went that way.
Gosh, dang it.
Well, I figured after, 2011, somewhere 2016, I'll even start there. Of working with Eat to Perform. I went through Josiah Novak, he's just an online coach I found.
Okay.
Back when I was at Anytime, him, Eat to Perform, RP Performance.
So you've used a lot.
I've used a handful of them.
So you've used a lot of different systems,
and they've all been macro based. Here's the good and the bad part of macro based is they taught me how much to eat, but they didn't teach me how to eat. So when I started my coaching, nutrition certification, or whatever, the lady that I sought out was almost the exact opposite. She's like, she teaches you how to eat, or teaches me people how to eat rather than how much to eat. So that's big. It's a little different than what I was used to. But the good part is I've been through so many of them that I can see. I say this, but it's easier to help people now. Well, if they want macros, I can help them with macros, but it doesn't really teach them how to eat.
Right. And like even myself, so like that's what's kind of cool is like I'm learning that as well. Is like I'm sitting here, like I still track. But there's days where like I force myself not to track because I'm like, you know how to eat. Stop relying on numbers. Like you know what food, what sources come from what. And it's just like as I got process, I'm like starting to like realize those things, and it's like,
intuitive.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a game changer. It's a game changer
for sure.
So let's play a little game here. So let's encapsulate everything. So your journey kind of started, you said back in 2010.
Yep.
And then it kind of ran into, you said, so you started the gym 2011?
Started in 2011.
2011. And so 2016 was when you were kind of hitting it hard with, you said you had a couple different nutrition coaches at that point? Or?
So 2016 I started, actually it was the first time I stepped on InBody.
Okay,
that's probably when I started with the nutrition coach, was in 2016, somewhere in there.
Okay. And then so 2016, so we'll fast forward did you join 2020 or 2019?
It was like I was just after they opened, real close to within a month or so.
That's what I thought. So you were here 2019, and so you began your journey here at CrossFit Angola. And do you remember roughly, were you still about that 30% body fat, or were you a little lighter? Do you remember?
Probably pretty damn close to
pretty
it.
Close to it.
27, 20, somewhere in there.
So, and what's super cool too is, and what I like about your journey is like, and something to give some insight to is like, you've not just done CrossFit. You've done a lot of different things we've done here. You've done CrossFit. You've done our bodybuilding workshop. You've done like mountain bike racing. You've done a gauntlet of fitness. I'm not afraid
to try something once.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's a cool thing. And I don't know if that was something that branched from joining this gym or if that was just something you're naturally equipped with. But that was always something like you were always the guy like, sure, I'll try it. We'll see what happens.
What's the worst gonna happen?
And so I kind of want to dive into that mindset because for those, whether they're members now or for those that are, thinking about CrossFit Angola or trying just anything fitness, right? Trying to change their health and fitness, right? that person that's like, I don't know, like how do you framework or set that mindset up? Like how does that work for you, I guess?
You're tapping into what I put a post out on social media about that the other day, Perky, about it's as a whenever I was 40-some-year-old person, 45-year-old man walking into a gym, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like change is fucking scary.
Mm-hmm. You're not kidding.
Whether it's walking into a gym for the first time, changing your diet, a lot of shit's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, what did I put on there? Your friends are going to change. That's changed a bunch. Your family's going to look at you a little different, whether it's your immediate family that's with you or not, or family like my parents or my mom looks at me in a different view now. So things are going to change. Some of my sisters look at me a little different now. Like, why does he always have to eat so healthy? But it's just a lifestyle. It's just who I am now, not what I do. How to get into that frame of mind.
Yeah.
Ooh, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's it, man. It's some of the training I've gone through is called, they say action dispels overwhelm. Mm-hmm. If you're overwhelmed with making a change of, we'll just say walking into the gym, you just got to walk into the gym.
Yeah.
Like, no different than in 2011 when I called my buddy and said, hey, I want to join Anytime Fitness. I know you got a free pass. It's just picking up the phone, opening up the door, starting the car, whatever it is. You just got to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a framework or how I think that's just how I've always been.
Yeah,
somebody just wanted to go jump out of an airplane one day. I'm like, when are we doing it?
Yeah,
let's go.
Okay. That's fair. And I get that too, because I have a very similar frame, a similar mindset. I'll just try it. I'll give it a shot, see what happens. Like the worst going to happen is I'm gonna get told no, or something. It's not gonna work out, or I'm not gonna like it, right? And so. But I know some people, and being here and coaching now for 5 years, I've had a lot of different people walk through the doors, come to the doors, try it out.
You get to watch some other.
Yeah, and so sometimes it's interesting to see if there's a mindset there, a thought process you go through when you walk through or try to make that decision, because it is challenging. I've had the same components. I was 265 pounds. I had to somehow make that decision. So how did I make it? Well, I just said, you stop being fat. It's time to change. And so I didn't know if there was, a thought process behind yours when it came to those things. Because ultimately, for me, when I lost my weight, it was initially I'm done playing football. And that was my driver. I'm not playing football anymore, so I don't need to weigh 265 pounds. Right. And so that was just a catalyst where I was okay, make change. Oh, I've lost 100 pounds now. So hey, I feel really good. And then I got in college, and that's a different story. Right. But
I think I'm not sure what you just said, ping something off of my brain, but it might jump into the deep end of the pool here. I think a lot of it has to do with how you talk to yourself, Perky. You can either tell yourself that you can't, and I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe anybody says that. I don't believe when somebody tells me they can't. I believe it's a choice that they won't.
Yeah.
I can't go to the gym, or I can't do this. I call bullshit. You just don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. You don't want to challenge yourself enough to do it. But I think it comes back to what you tell yourself. The words you use. I'm a story guy. So what story are you telling yourself that says you can't do it? As I'm pursuing some other career opportunities, some other stuff, change is hard.
Yeah, no doubt.
But what the story that I'm telling myself is got to change, or it's got to use different words in order for myself to get to that next level. So if you're telling yourself that you can't go to the gym, you never will. If you're telling yourself you can't lose weight, you never will. If you tell yourself that you won't lose weight, then there's an option. Now it's just a choice. Or you're telling yourself that you won't go to the gym. It's just a choice that you're making. It's not that you can't. The door's open 12 hours a day. Anytime Fitness is open 24 hours a day, but that's right. It's just you're telling yourself that you won't more than you can't. So I think it comes back to the words that you tell. I guess I'll use my own analogy. It comes back to the words that I tell myself. If I want to get on more podcasts to do other stuff, it's just me reaching out to them and saying, hey, promote I got this to do. So Yeah, it comes back to the stories that you tell yourself and the words that you tell yourself, or words you use.
Yeah, and so looking at that, so now let's kind of branch that into this idea of like, you can think of yourself like, what kind of advice would you give yourself, 30 years ago, whatever it is, but think about someone who is in that phase of contemplation. They're sitting here like, I need to go to the gym, but I can't, or I won't, whatever like that mindset is. What kind of piece of advice would you give them to like help make that shift? Like, hey, try doing this, or hey, like, what is, you have like kind of a kickstart to help them? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry, I know right. I'm just rolling here.
I like it. Man, if somebody said if somebody came up to me and told me that they wanted to go to the gym or they need to go to the gym, I would first invite them. Come with me. Yeah. If you're thinking about it, let's put it on the calendar and let's just go. You can come in here, sit down, watch. Yeah. Or maybe not. At least come and join it.
No, you can come watch. I mean, you come watch, not be as cool, but you can come watch, I guess.
Just come hang out. Yeah. Other than that, have them put it on our calendar, have them write it out.
Okay.
Somebody's working on their nutrition. Well, I guess one of the first questions was what's stopping you from doing it? Or how do you see yourself in 6 months from now? Do you want to be in the same spot you're in 6 months from now? You say you want to make a change. So in 6 months, you're either going to be the same person or you're going to be a different person. So I think asking the right questions at the right time. If I told you, Perky, you had to lose weight, you were like, screw off, Todd.
Right.
But if I started to question you or make you start thinking about things, man, that wasn't a good analogy. You don't need to lose weight.
But I think I get what you're saying, though, is like questions to ask yourself. And like, I think that's a great way to phrase it, right? Someone that's listening or tuning in, they're like, I know I need to go to the gym, or I want to go to the gym, but I just can't, right? So like, what questions do you ask yourself to get yourself going? And I think you're on the right track, right? You would ask yourself, like, it could be like, how important is this to you, right? Or what do you look like in 6 months if you do exactly the same thing you're doing
What does your
right
future
now?
self look like?
Yeah. So I think those are both great questions that you can use just to ask yourself right now. Like, ask yourself that. Like, what are you gonna look like in the next 6 months, or where are you gonna be in the next 6 months if you do exactly the same thing you're doing right now? Yeah. What do you do if you work out? Or what if you do if you eat healthy? Or what if you do, and you can kind of ask those probing questions. So I think those are very valid. And I think for me, that is a driving thing that keeps me coming, right? Where am I gonna be in 6 months if I keep doing what I'm doing right now? And what I've gotten into lately in my training, as like a personal analogy, is like, I've done a lot of weakness training lately. I'm doing so many strict muscle ups. I'm doing these things I don't care to do or like to do or love to do, but they're my weakness. It's how I'm going to improve my fitness. And so I ask when I'm like sitting on a day where like, man, I just don't want to do this. I don't want to do it.
We've all been there.
Right, yeah. And when I'm thinking I don't want to do it, I just always remind myself, but if I do this, where am I going to be in 6 months? Right. And then I realize, I'm going to be more efficient at my movement or whatever it is. And so I think that's kind of like, and you're going to deter me or not, but I think that's kind of what you're like saying, right?
Yeah, there's opportunity on the other side of obstacles.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah. That was good.
That was pretty good.
I was like, wow, dang. That was good. We'll write that one down.
Right, keeping that one.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, I like that. I like that idea. So kind of we'll start to slowly wrap things up, but as we do, let's kind of run through the Todd accolades. This is your time to boast a little bit, but you've achieved a lot. Like, and this can be mindset, nutrition, this can be my body weight, this can be strength, whatever it is. But what are some of those things that you have done with your health and your fitness? All of it.
Oh man,
You've done a lot.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Shoot, that's a good question, Perky. So I've gone through, I'll start with mindset. So I've gone through mindset coaching. Then I decided to pursue that a little bit and add mindset and nutrition coaching into a ball of wax. I don't think that people can change their nutrition, people can change their food, but if they don't change their mind, they're never going to be where they're at, where they want to be. And it comes back to asking good questions. Let's see. So mindset, nutrition. I'm not afraid to try something like go run a 5K, whatever. Go for a 50-mile bike ride. okay, let's go do it.
Yeah, you can literally, like, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't want to do any, like, I'm not sure what I want to do, just ask Todd to do it with you. He'll do it with you. If you want to do a triathlon, he's in.
Yeah, okay. Maybe a duathlon. I'm not a very good swimmer. I will say that. Could I practice it? I got a lake in my backyard, but I just don't go do it.
Okay.
It's not a priority right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I think you're not afraid to try things.
Yeah.
Prior to being in the shape I'm in now, it wasn't as easy then.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody told me we're going to go on a 50-mile bike ride 15 years ago, I'm like, like in a car, what are we doing? How are we getting there? Or we rode from Kalamazoo to South Haven a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 50-mile bike ride, just dinking around. But
and like to help you with that too is like just like look at your fitness element of things, your capabilities. Right. And it's like in the gym, like CrossFit itself, it's just training. Where we're trying to there were GPP, which is general physical preparedness. We're trying to basically make you a better human being. You're able to function and do all the things you love outside the gym, just as much as you're able to do it in the gym, right? Yep. And so looking at that, like to give like a base measure, there's workouts that Todd either beats me or hangs with me. And what's our age difference again?
I'm 51.
Yeah, and I'm 27, so roughly
24 years apart.
24 years apart. I couldn't do that math. That was going to take forever. So 24 years apart, and he's able to do things I can do as well as some things better than I can do. And that's a testament to his fitness, right? Because if we were to rewind and we put you back in old Todd, would old Todd be able to do what I'm doing right now?
No. I think about this a lot. Just what you started off the conversation with is at 27 years old, you get to watch me at 51 doing what you're doing at 51. I wish I would have had a Todd when I was 27.
Right.
Saying, hey, get to the gym, don't go to the bar, or don't go to the pizza shop or whatever it was. But I wish I had that person then.
Yeah,
for sure. It would make a huge difference where I'm at now. Not that I've got no regrets of what I did then, but it would have been. To rewind myself, I'd take it out.
For sure. But I still think even at your age to do what you're doing and able to, that too is incredible.
I like it when, so we have some high school football kids come in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years ago, we had one come in. We did, still remember the workout. It was 400-meter run, like 20 burpees, 10 pull-ups or something like that, like 5 rounds. And he was with me like the first 2 or 3 rounds. And he started slow. I'm like, hey, where are you at? Slowly starts falling off. We get done. He's like, how old are you? I'm like, I don't know. It's I'm probably 49. He's like, I don't understand. I don't get it. He goes, I'm 17 years old and you're 49. How did you just do that? I'm like, learn to breathe.
Right. Like, I've been doing this a while. Like,
you just figure it out. And there's a couple of kids last week that were laying on the floor. It's like, come on, boys, let's go. Keep moving. So
it's like,
I get a kick out of that. That's fun for me.
Like, I think that's what's super cool is like your age, like, you're how old again?
51.
Okay, not to make you feel old, but you're as old as my dad is. So, but so like even then, like my dad, not to diss you, Dad, I love you. But he could not do a quarter, if not even close, like maybe 10% of what you could do. I don't even know if he could do that, right?
Keep going.
But like to put that like, and I know comparison's not like necessarily the most beneficial thing, but sometimes it helps you realize like how far you've also come.
For sure.
Right. And like looking at you and like most men your age,
they're not doing it.
Couldn't even dream of what you're doing right now. Or they don't. Right. It sizzles out and gone. And I think that's what's really cool is at your age, it's like, it's not too late. Right?
Hell no.
Like, we have a lot of people at your age or a little bit younger, a little bit older, just getting started, and they're kind of getting going with things. And I think that's a super cool message that your journey carries because you're still doing it, you're still learning, but you're still maintaining. Like you have it. Like you said you started at what 2011 to we're now 2024. So like about 13 years, you've kept this train rolling, and it's still improving. It's still growing. And it's like
it's just who I am.
Yeah, right. It's like it's become you've encapsulated it all, right? It's not 1 year in a burnout or anything like that. It's here I am. This is who I am, and now it's like I said, it's that rotation from protege, Padawan to like now a mentor. But it's because you encapsulate those things, you live those things now. So,
it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's cool to see I think it's fun to watch even the older, like coming to the master's class and watch them. It's awesome.
It really is.
Freaking love it. And I love coming in and watching the kids class. And I'll just come in and watch them. Just it's cool to see 70 and 80-year-olds come into the gym that maybe they were athletes when they're younger and they decided to start getting back into it. And it's cool to have little kids in here now that are.
Oh yeah, like I think we do like third grade.
Yeah,
third grade.
That's
and then we have some parents just bring their kids in. They just want to join in. We'll let them kind of like do their thing. And yeah. So it's super cool. Yep. Absolutely. So Todd, you're the man, the myth, the legend. You've done a lot. You've achieved a lot, and I know you're going to continue to achieve a lot.
For sure.
So looking at that, I guess kind of wrap up anything. Is there any type of message or things you want to give someone who is in that contemplation phase? Like, again, you kind of gave them some advice, but is there anything else you want to add to that? And then, two, you can kind of explain some of the things you're endeavoring now, like some of your things you're working on, some of the opportunities people can have with you. You can kind of break those down as well and explain those things.
I'll throw it out there. So one thing that was told to me a couple years ago, and I didn't really understand it until I really thought about it, fitness is a gateway drugs to self-improvement, without a doubt. Without it. I think I started this conversation with, I came to CrossFit Angle to get more fit. I didn't know I was going to transform my whole
freaking life. Like, that is the same experience.
I just came here to work out, man.
Right.
I didn't come here to which leads me into what I'm doing now. So where does it take me from? I still do building material sales, but I also do nutrition coaching, which is, I just had a conversation with my boss the other day. I'm like, here's what I do. This is my job, but here's my passion. And he was like, ooh, that's good. And there's some place to go with that. But so helping people either inside the gym or outside the gym with their food, because I can talk about food all day long. I mean, you get wrapped into conversations every once in a while about that. Corporate wellness programs is my next big mission. I had a phone call with an HR lady 2 days ago. Told her what I was doing, what I had in the process, and she was like, I said, I want to know what your number one problem is in your company. She says, obesity. I'm like, I got you. I'm like, how? I said, if I bring a program to you, would you be interested? And she was like, is it done yet? Like, bring it on. And workplace wellness is my next mission, Perky. It's
I love it.
There's too many bad backs are number one.
Bad backs, knees, overweight, obesity,
obesity, all that. I'm like, all right. So what if we can help prevent that rather than fix it? So that's my mission.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
If you want me to come into your workplace and do a 4-week nutrition challenge, a 4-week step challenge, I don't care what it is. Just get your people fucking healthy.
Get them. Yeah,
it just makes them more productive.
Right.
And I could go on for days about that too.
Oh, we've dived into this before, so we can definitely get into this. But
a healthy person. I'll take myself for a quick example. Before going to back 2008, 2009. I was in management, and looking back, I was a horrible boss. Like, I would come to work hungover. I'd sit back in my office. I would yell at my salespeople. I was just shitty. I will say it. I was a shitty boss.
Right.
Now, if the people that I lead today are like, our meetings started off with, how'd your weekend go? Not, why didn't you get this done? So it's way more, once you make that turn of, it seems like I'm a pushover boss. I'm not, but it's more of working with them, not
against them.
Not against them.
Yeah.
So it's so much easier.
Right.
The meetings go smoother. So making that mindset shift is hard, but that's where I come in to help people make that shift. Just help get healthy.
Heck yeah. Do you have any contacts? And I'll put it up in the video. Do you have any contacts or anything people can reach out to?
What is it? Todd Squires Coach on Instagram.
Copy.
And they can always find me on Facebook. They can find me inside the CrossFit Angola. I'm always putting cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
Like the first form thing that I'm doing now. It's helping me learn what's going on in there too. So that's fun. I enjoy that. That's the first form stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff in there to learn.
Oh, I know. I did it. Wow, man, I did it years ago. Probably 2020 is when I did mine.
All right.
I went through all that process and kind of learned about their stuff. And
it's cool.
It's cool. It's stuff you didn't realize, and once you kind of get the information, you're like, oh, I was like, it gives you a little validness, but also just more knowledge.
Yep.
I mean, so honestly, what we're always in the pursuit of is just more knowledge and understanding to be able to help others.
And dude, I told his service, man. I've the older I get, you talk about being a mentor for some of these younger guys coming in, or even yourself or whoever, is learning to serve them.
Yeah.
Not being just being a servant attitude, come with a servant attitude rather than a, what can I put into it rather than what can I get out of it? Yeah. Is a little bit easier.
The giving mentality, just give.
Just give.
Yeah.
So much. I love it. Life is so much simpler.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Todd, you got anything else to add?
Not right now.
All right. Oh. We'll wrap her up.
Clear Insight. Clear Insight Pro. I'll give you that.
Oh, there you go.
ClearInsightPro.com.
Okay.
There's a website in the progress.
Okay.
But there's a freebie on it.
It's freebie. Okay. Clear Insight Pro.
Clear Insight Pro. PRO.
Okay. Pro. Yep. Clear Insight Pro. All right. Yep. Check it out.
Awesome.
All right. Todd, thanks for joining me today. We're going to see you in some future episodes. So, for those that are listening, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like, share the episode, and subscribe for more to come in the future.